¿Qué la que mi gente? Gran Pachilo here, bringing you a locals match from the last locals tournament over at Gamers Cave last Sunday. We got myself on the left playing Numemon with the absolutely beautiful Sinobali Numemon playmat. If you like it, go check them out. Not a sponsor, just a pretty cool artist. And on the other side, we got my teammate from KSC, Joshua, playing the MagnamonX deck. He goes ahead and digivolves into Vmon from BT16 in the back, plays out Promo Davis to then play out Vmon and get another Vmon from the search. And then now I'm currently in a tight spot. My hand is really in a bad place at the moment. I just worked with what I can. I throw down the MagnamonX and then digivolve into Monzai X and draw. Hopefully get extra cards in my hand. I do draw the Ugo, but I'm really exposing myself to the Magnamon from the starter deck here from SD17. You can just remove the body from the board, but I had to take the gamble because I didn't have any other really good plays in my hand. Goes ahead and plays out a memory boost to search out, see if he can grab an armor. He grabs the BT8 armor for Magnamon, and then I believe he digivolves into it. Yep, he'll leave me at 1 memory because of the effect of the BT16 Vmon, which is really bad, getting memory choked. I digivolve Ukomon in the back, and then now I do have the option to play out the Nume from RV1 to the board to just give the Vmon minus 4000 DP to kind of mitigate the potential of another armor hitting the board. I do go through with that play. I give him -4, then leave him at 2 memory, but he will gain that extra memory with the Promo Davis due to having a free type Digimon on the board. He digivolves into Vmon for BT16 in the back, and then he pops the blue memory boost to go into the MagnamonX, and then draws for Digivolution. He gains plus 3000 DP, then attacks, and then gains another plus 3000 DP plus protections. Then he swings again at 18,000. Just a really problematic stack at the moment, but luckily he doesn't have any of the DP boosting inheritables underneath. Right now I do have to find a way to work through this stack, because right now my hand isn't looking pretty healthy at the moment. But I do go ahead and raise up the Ugo, and I do have the other rookie to digivolve in back. I digivolve into the Chikurimon from the starter deck, which is the Floodgate one. And then I draw the Monzaimon, which does open a pathway to kind of work towards giving him a huge minus DP for the deletion of the stack, because I have to at least give him minus 12k DP until the end of his turn, so that the protections wear off and all the DP hits at the same time his protections wear off, so that he gets his stack deleted. It ignores essentially Armor Purge because the stacks will still have minus 12,000 DP. Go ahead and digivolve into the Monzaimon to draw, then give him minus 3,000 and -1 security check. Now it won't affect him at the moment because he has protections. I go ahead and digivolve into the Platinum Nume for essentially 1 memory due to the effect of him trashing a card with Nume to gain 2 memory. Go ahead and swing, but unfortunately we hit the Magnamon from the starter deck in the first swing, and then they are both 7,000 DP. So in the battle after the Digivolution, they both get deleted, which is really sad. But we do have another Monzai on the hand, which we can hard play to give him -3, and then with the effect of the Monzai X, give him -6, which in total is the 12,000 DP we need. It does give him more deep memory to work with, but it is what we have to do. Go ahead and go through with that play. give him that minus 12 DP, which deletes his stack. And now I do have a blocker Bonsai with a Bonsai X and a Uko, which is pretty healthy at this moment. It doesn't seem like he has the MagnamonX in hand. He has Zubagon Punch, he has Davis, he has Beamon, but no MagnamonX in hand to go into another one. He goes ahead and raises up to gain that extra memory with the Davis and swings, but I do have the Valkyriemon in hand, so I decide to do a counter timing blast Digivolve into Valkyriemon to give him minus 5k, then block with the Monsai to essentially delete his stack. He uses the effect of the Magnamon to play out a Vmon, but due to the effect of the Valkyriemon Ace, there is a minus 5000 on the board, so the Vmon will not be able to trigger his effect. We just let it slide, no biggie. He gets deleted instantly, and then he plays out a Death X for 11 memory, since we have 3 bodies on our side of the board. And then due to the de-digivolution of the Valkyriemon Ace, he'll gain back 4 memory from that. And then delete essentially my Uko and the now de-digivolved Numemon. I get the draw from the Tokomon because it's his turn. And then I get the on-deletion of the RB1 Nume. We do grab the Nume X and the rest go to the bottom. But now we are choked at 1 memory, looking at a Death X spawn on the field, which is kind of bad. But I believe we do have ways to work around it. I go ahead and Digivolve into the Platinum for essentially 1 memory, using the effect again to discard and gain 2 memory. I forget to draw on Digivolution and forget the Tsunomon draw, but I at least rectify the draw from the Tsunomon, which is a mandatory effect. Then I swing with the Chikuri and hit a starter deck Magna, so he gets to de-digivolve my Platinum, and then the Chikuri gets deleted in battle, which is really unfortunate for us. But hey, what are we gonna do? I believe I just passed the turn here. I don't want to sacrifice any pieces to the Death X one, and then by passing the turn, I can bring back a Platinum from the trash to the field. I believe I'm just going to pass the turn here. I'm really considering my options, but I do pass the turn. The Monsai X gets deleted, and then the Nume X inheritable gets. I get to play out a Nume in name from the trash. I play out the Platinum, but I believe I won't be using the effect to gain memory because I want to keep the pieces in my hand. And then now he Digivolves into the Vmon in the back. I believe that's the promo Vmon from the either the pre-release or the Evo Cup. I believe this is the pre-release art. He hits with Death X into security, hits a Satsuki, and then puts me to 1 memory. Here I get a memory with the Satsuki, but besides that, I believe this is the end for us. I go ahead with the Louis to promote the Uko, gain 2 memory back, and then hatch to kind of cycle cards and draw. But I don't really have an out to this situation. The Ukomon lives the attack, but besides that, we don't have any way of defending ourselves. I could have played out a Monzaimon, but I would essentially put him to 7 memory, and then he would still be able to finish the game. So it wouldn't have mattered too much. He goes ahead and throws Zubagan Punch on top of Death X, then swings out with the rest of his Digimon, and that will be game 1. Now let's get into the second game of the match. We're just setting up here. He's currently 1-0 in his favor. He goes first and then Digivolves into the Vmon and back, and then he plays out the Shuyulin Tamer, which is mainly used to give the MagnamonX alliance and also to set your memory to 3. I do have a better hand this time around. Go ahead and play out a Garurumon, discarding a Garurumon to draw 2. I go ahead and Digivolve into NumemX, draw for Evolution. I do have rookies to go in back. I Digivolve into the Promo Uko in back. Then now I do have the Satsuki to kind of set it up early to get jamming in my stacks. But I go ahead and Digivolve into the Monzai. Here I should have probably played out the Satsuki instead of going into the Monzai to keep it safe. But he does play out the Zudo to bounce my Monzai to hand. So now I promote the Uko, attach into the Toko, and here I kind of in a weird spot, but I do have other rookies to Digivolve. I go into the Agumon instead of the BT16 Uko as to not pay the 1 memory. Then I hard play a Monzai essentially for 5 memory, using the effect to gain 2 memory and put a Devolution Source underneath. And then I will give -1 check to the Zudo, but he does go ahead and removes the source under the Monzai and bounces the Monzai, which is really unfortunate. That now it has been 2 bounce effects which have removed the 2 Monzaimon stacks, and now I just have the Uko on board. If he has it, he could go into MagnamonX, and he goes into MagnamonX for 5 memory, but it will give me a bunch of memory to work with, and I will get extra memory from Agumon and Uko. I go ahead and draw into another promo Uko in the back and draw. I do have a few options to work with. I have the Monzaimon I could slam down for 5. I have the Waru Monzai I could slam down for 7, but that's a little bit more costly. I go ahead, I believe, and play out the Monzai, for 5 memory, using the effect to gain the 2 memory by placing a Numemon from trash underneath it. I get -3 and -1 check to the Magnamon, I believe, and then I throw down the Venus on board to stop any when Digivolving effects. This does also stop the MagnamonX all turns effect from activating a when Digivolving effect, so we can at least ensure that he won't be getting any protections from his effects. So he'll just be a 13,000 stack. But he does go ahead and throw down another Zudo to the field to bounce my Venus, which is really unfortunate now. 3 bounce effects to remove my stuff. I do gain 3 memory from 2 of the Ukos and the Agumon. I do have other rookies in hand to Digivolve in the back. But I believe I don't want to pay the cost for the BT16 Uko. It's just that paying that 1 memory can sometimes mess up your plays if you don't plan ahead. Go ahead and Digivolve into the Chikurimon in back and draw. Unfortunately, we hit the promo Uko on the draw, which would have been a better draw, but hey, what are we gonna do? I go ahead and play out the Death X Bond for 8 memory to Digivolve his MagnamonX. And then he just has the Zudos and the the Magna on the board. He goes ahead and does a check, hits in Agumon, and now I have the potential Death X Bond threat of popping both of his Pseudomon because he pops the lowest play cost, and then those are 4 costs and the Magna is 7. He forgets, and then he assumes it will be the Magna, but both of his Pseudo get popped. And then I go from 4 memory up to 10 memory with the 2 overflow effects from the Zudo. Now I have a way of getting into his board. I go ahead and throw down the Gary for a 3 memory to draw 2 by discarding the Platinum. I draw the NumemX and Digivolve into NumemX. I currently have a lot of memory to work with, so I have to take advantage of that fact. I have the Monzai on the board. I go ahead and attack with the Death X to pop the armor purge, and then Digivolve into Monzai to give the Vmon minus 3000 so that he doesn't get another armor form, and he has no rookies in back, so that at least guarantees probably no armor forms will be popping up unless he hard plays a Vmon and then Digivolve. And then now I'm looking as to what to do in respects to the Death X spawn on the other side of the board. I'll go ahead and Digivolve into the Platinum Nume for 2, I believe. No, for the full cost of 3. They don't want to discard anything. Then you have 2 checks and with on deletions to play out 2 bodies, but let's see if you want to do it. There is the potential of the Magnamon from the starter deck popping up. No Magnamon from the starter deck on that check. Then I go ahead and just play out the Satsuki Tamahime. I could not attack with the Platinum because it was played that turn, so I just decided to play out the Satsuki and then have the Chigurimon get deleted. He goes ahead and plays out a Promo Davis to play out a Vmon, and then Digivolves into the starter deck Magnamon for 3 memory, removing all my important Digivolution sources, which are the NumemX and the Monzai, and then bounces the Death X to hand. It is sad because I don't get the Death X spawn effect, but at the same time, I do have Death X spawn again in my hand, which I can use reactive. I'll go ahead, I believe, let's see, I could swing out with the Platinum, see if he gets deleted in security, but he does have the blocker from the Magnamon from the SC17 starter deck. So let's see, I do have the Garamon to draw, but it'll put me at 0 memory. I go ahead and swing. He doesn't want to sacrifice his armor purge, so he lets us through and then hits a blue memory boost in security, which is really good. I go ahead and throw down the Garamon, and then I don't use the effect to draw 2. I just Digivolve into the NumemX on top of it, and then now I do have another Death X which I could play down for essentially 8 to remove the Vmon, which will guarantee that no armor forms will show up essentially, unless he throws down a Vmon again with either Promo Davis or just hard casting it from hand, and I get to bring back a body from the NumemX effect, which I bring out another Platinum Nume. Just in case it gets deleted, I can bring back a body from hand. Now, I do leave him at 8 memory, but hey, sometimes we just gotta commit to our expensive plays. He goes ahead and throws down a blue memory boost, but gets no rookies. He doesn't have a rookie in back. And it seems like he doesn't have one in hand either. He just has the Death X spawn looking menacingly in field. Now he'll just pop a memory boost, get the Magnamon from BT16 on the board. He takes a quick look at the graveyard. None of the Platinums are there because they're currently on the field. And then if he had it, he could go into MagnamonX, but I'm not sure if he has it this time. I believe he doesn't. He could swing with the Death X spawn to chip at my security. Let's see. Yep, he goes into the security with Death X, hits a RB1 Nume, which is no threat at all. Then he uses the Awakening of the Golden Knight option card to Digivolve into MagnamonX for just 3 memory. and he has protection from getting his DP reduced until the end of my turn. So any lingering effects I put on his stack will still stay there on his turn, such as the minus DP from the Monzai and the Monzai X. Right now I have 4 attacks on the board, but he can block twice. I go ahead and swing out with Death X to try and get him to pop the Armor Purge, and he does block to remove my Death X, but he loses the MagnamonX. Now I could get rid of his level 4 and either Death X, but I do have lethal currently. I have the Nume with Rush with the Tamer in hand. Right now with the effect of Platinum Nume, I can play out a Digimon with Monzai or Nume from my hand to the field. I decide to play out the Monzai. I could have played out the Nume for free to get that Tamer underneath and get Rush, but I just decided to go the Monzaimon, give it -1 check, and gain 2 memory just in case. I swing with the Platinum, and now I swing with the Agumon. It gets deleted, but I do have the Numemon with the Satsuki Tamer to be able to give it Rush and swing for game. That will be game 2. It is now the 3rd game of the match. We are currently tied 1-1. Let's see who gets the entire match. Go ahead and raise the Tokamon and Digivolve for 1 into the BT16 Uko to kind of force him to react on that 1 memory. He goes ahead and Digivolves into the BT16 Vmon in the back, and then I believe he Digivolves into an Armor form. Nope. He goes ahead and plays out a Vmon Searcher. Go ahead and grabs the Vmon to just have another rookie in hand. Then the rest go to the bottom. I promote the Ugo, use its effect to reveal 3, and I will grab the Garamon to get that draw power. I will hatch. I think I have another rookie. Yep, I do have the promote Ugo, which is really good. So I Digivolve into that instead of the Chikuri. And now I have either the option to go into the Garamon, which really is the optimal play. Just choke the opponent and draw 2 cards. I do discard the Nume X, which I had in hand, but no punish. I do draw another Nume X, but he does Digivolve into the Magnamon from the starter deck and then bounces the Garamon, but it goes to hand due to me just not paying attention. Really doesn't affect the outcome of the match. So no worries there. I use the effect of the Ukos to gain memory and then reveal top 3, and I grab the Death X because in this matchup it has been a really good card. I Digivolve and back into the Chikurimon from the Star deck, the Floodgate, and then I hard play a Monzaimon from hand to the field for essentially 5 memory to delete the BT16 Vmon. He goes ahead and hatches a Demi V, goes into a promo Vmon. I think that's the art from the pre-release, from the BT16 pre-release. He has the Magnamon from the Star deck in the field. If he has it, he can go into the MagnamonX to put me to 2 memory. I will go to 3 with Uko, but he gets a big blocker stack, which I have to play around. He's currently thinking about what to do in this scenario. He knows my security is pretty low on DP. Most of my Digimon are low DP, so his 7,000 will probably survive. But he's thinking about what to do in this moment. Let's see, in his hand he does have the Full Metal Blaze option, which really for this format has been a pretty awesome tech card to put in his MagnamonX deck. Full Metal Blaze essentially returns 2 level 4 or lower Digimon to the opponent's hand, and then if he has 8 or more cards in hand returns a level 6 or higher. In this case, I didn't have a level 6, I had a level 5, but both of the Ukos get bounced into my hand. That way I don't get too much value. But at this point, I do have a lot of cards in hand to just keep working with. So I Digivolve into the Monzai X, play out the Agumon X to search, and then I grab another Monzai X from the Agumon X antibody search. He gets a X antibody in name and a black tamer. I also rectify the Numemon draw, which I had forgotten. And now I do have another Monzai. Currently the stack has -6. I do have Monzai to give him another -3. And instead of going into a stack, I just hard play the Monzai for 5 with the effect to play the Nume underneath. And then I swing into security 2 checks, but he survives both checks. Chigirimon, on the other hand, hits a MagnamonX in security, so he gets deleted. And now I go into Venus to end the turn for 4 memory. That way he can't activate any when Digivolving effects, and all of his Digimon get -1 check. That way I can control, I can mitigate any effects that he might trigger on his turn, except for on plays. He still has Death X, he still has the Zudomon, but he doesn't seem to have any of those in hand, sadly. He does have Memory Boost, which he can use to search, or he can just throw down a armor. But he knows I have the Monzai X in hand, so throwing down a body would just get deleted. Right now we're just discussing the current state of the game, which he really is in a really tough spot at the moment, because he can essentially just do nothing due to Venus. And also I have 3 bodies on the board to check the 2 security remaining on his side. So here I do have the upper hand. Let's see what he comes up with. He's currently at 4. Remember, he's just taking a bit of a long think to see how he can get out of it, because this is really a hard spot to be. He does have Full Metal Blaze in hand. He can use to bounce the Agumon and then bottom deck the Venus. It'll put me to 4 memory, but it'll mitigate basically the lethal next turn, because I would just have 1 attack. But I believe that's the play he commits to, but still it is a very hard spot to be in. Let's see. This matchup really is just a back and forth between who can remove whose stuff faster. But luckily the Numemon does have effects that last until end of turn, minus DP. He goes ahead and raises up the Vmon, Digivolves into the Magnamon from BT8. Then he uses the option card Awakening of the Golden Knight to go into the MagnamonX. I do have a lot of material in my hand to deal with this stack. I don't have to go all aggressive at this moment. I can just wait for his stack to be gone. He doesn't have any Davis, any Tamers, any memory boosts on the field, so essentially removing his stack will be pretty much GG. Go ahead and throw down a Garamon with the effect of the Monzai X to draw 2 cards and also give him minus 8,000. Then I use Protoform to Digivolve into Monzai X for 2 memory, and while also playing out another body. And then he pretty much concedes the game, because next turn the MagnamonX would have been deleted by the astounding, I think it's minus 18,000 DP he had on him, and I could just run him down. He had no Death X, he did have Full Metal Blaze, but I just had too much aggression on the board, so that will be GG. Still, this was a great game, great showcase for both decks. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you liked about the match, what you like to see in other matches, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.